The year was 2157, when the Galactic Council arrived at Earth's doorstep. Their massive ships blotted out the sun, casting shadows over major cities across the planet. The alien fleet consisted of 3 dominant species: the tall, blue-skinned Valorians who controlled trade routes, the insectoid Nexari who managed technology, and the reptilian Koriths who served as enforcers. Captain Jake Rivers stood on the bridge of humanity's flagship, the Terra Prime, watching helplessly as his weapons failed to penetrate the alien shields. The Earth Defense Force had prepared for decades, but their technology seemed primitive compared to the invaders. Within hours, every major military installation lay in ruins. The Galactic Council's message was clear and brutal. Ambassador Thane, a towering Valorian with piercing silver eyes, addressed the world through hijacked communication networks. His voice carried the weight of absolute authority as he declared humanity's fate. "People of Earth," Thane announced, "your species has been evaluated and found suitable for integration into the galactic workforce. You possess adequate physical capabilities and reasonable intelligence. Your planet will serve as a labor colony." Dr. Emma Stone, Earth's leading xenobiologist, watched from her laboratory as alien machines began constructing massive processing centers. These facilities would sort humans based on their abilities. The strongest would work in asteroid mines, the most intelligent would maintain alien technology, and the rest would serve in various support roles across the galaxy. The Koriths implemented the sorting system with ruthless efficiency. Families were torn apart as children were separated from parents, spouses from each other. Those who resisted faced immediate termination by energy weapons that dissolved matter at the molecular level. Tom Blake, a former construction worker, found himself assigned to Mining Station Alpha 7 in the Centauri system. The work was backbreaking, extracting rare minerals from asteroids while wearing basic environmental suits. The alien overseers, mechanical drones controlled by Nexari operators, showed no mercy for human limitations. Meanwhile, on Earth, the remaining population served the occupying forces. Cities were transformed into production centers, manufacturing goods for the galactic market. Humans worked 18-hour shifts in factories producing alien technology they couldn't understand. Lisa Chun, a former teacher, now operated complex machinery that created energy cells for Valorian ships. The work required precision, and mistakes resulted in painful neural corrections, delivered through implants all humans were forced to wear. The most devastating aspect of the occupation was the systematic destruction of human culture. Books were burned, historical monuments demolished, and languages other than basic galactic were forbidden. The aliens wanted compliant workers, not thinking beings with their own identity. Underground resistance movements formed in secret. Colonel Mike Ross, a former Special Forces operator, organized small cells of fighters who sabotaged alien operations. They used guerrilla tactics, striking quickly and vanishing into hidden bunkers. However, their primitive weapons barely scratched. Alien armor. The Resistance discovered that the Galactic Council had done this before. Hundreds of species across the galaxy served as slave labor, each reduced to their most basic utility. The Valorians provided the economic framework, the Nexari supplied the technology, and the Koriths maintained order through fear. Years passed in this nightmare existence. Children grew up knowing only servitude, their spirits broken by constant oppression. The aliens had calculated human psychology perfectly, applying just enough pressure to prevent widespread rebellion while maintaining productivity. However, they made one critical error in their assessment of humanity. They saw humans as individually weak creatures who required group cooperation to survive. They failed to understand that this cooperation, when properly directed, could become humanity's greatest weapon in hidden facilities beneath the ruins of major cities, A small group of human scientists worked in secret. They studied captured alien technology, slowly beginning to understand the principles behind it. Dr. Stone led this effort, driven by rage at what had been done to her species. The breakthrough came when they discovered that alien technology relied on a quantum frequency that could be disrupted. It was a subtle flaw, something the aliens had never encountered because no enslaved species had possessed the scientific curiosity to look for it. As Part 1 concludes, humanity appears completely defeated. Millions work as slaves across the galaxy. Earth lies in ruins, and alien technology seems insurmountable. The resistance operates in shadows, barely surviving each day. Yet beneath the surface, something stirs. The same drive that had taken humans from caves to space stations now focuses on a single goal: freedom. The aliens had enslaved humanity's bodies, but they had not broken the human spirit. The seeds of revenge are being planted in hidden laboratories and secret meetings. Humanity's greatest strength, their refusal to accept defeat, remains intact, waiting for the right moment to emerge. 5 years after the initial conquest, the galaxy viewed Earth as a success story of integration. Productivity reports showed steady output from human labor colonies, and rebellion incidents had dropped to acceptable levels. The Galactic Council considered the pacification complete, but appearances deceived. In the depths of former military bunkers, human ingenuity worked tirelessly. Dr. Stone's research team had grown from a handful of survivors to a network of brilliant minds spread across multiple hidden facilities. The key breakthrough came through studying Nexari biotechnology. The insectoid species used organic computers that processed information through living neural networks. When humans reverse engineered this technology, they discovered something the aliens hadn't anticipated. Human brains could interface directly with these systems. Alex Turner, a former computer programmer, volunteered for the first experimental interface. The procedure was dangerous, requiring surgical implantation of alien neural pathways into human brain tissue. The initial attempts resulted in madness or death, but gradually they refined the process. The successful integration gave Alex abilities beyond normal human limits. He could process information at superhuman speeds, hack into alien networks, and most importantly, understand the full scope of the Galactic Council's operations. Through Alex's enhanced consciousness, the Resistance learned the truth about galactic civilization. The three-species alliance had enslaved over 200 worlds, creating a vast economic empire built on forced labor. Each enslaved species served specific functions based on their biological traits. The Valorians, despite their advanced appearance, were actually a dying race. Their blue skin concealed a genetic flaw that made them dependent on life-extending treatments derived from enslaved species. They needed the Galactic Empire to survive as a people. The Nexari had evolved from a hive mind species, making them perfect administrators, but terrible innovators. They maintained existing technology, but rarely developed new solutions. Their role was preservation and distribution of knowledge. The Koraths served as enforcers because their reptilian biology made them naturally aggressive and territorial. However, they were also the least intelligent of the three species, following orders without question or creativity. This knowledge revealed a critical weakness. The Alliance had no backup plans for unexpected situations. They ruled through overwhelming technological superiority, never considering that an enslaved species might achieve technological parity. Colonel Ross used this intelligence to expand resistance operations. Instead of random sabotage, they began targeted strikes against specific alien installations. Small teams of enhanced humans, modified with captured alien biotechnology, struck at supply lines and communication nodes. The first major victory came at Mining Station Beta 12 in the Vega system. A team of 12 enhanced humans infiltrated the facility, overwhelmed Korath guards using superior tactics, and destroyed the entire mining operation. More importantly, they captured detailed technical specifications for alien equipment. Of the successful raid spread through secret networks across human colonies. Morale improved dramatically as enslaved humans realized resistance was possible. Small acts of sabotage increased throughout the galaxy, creating logistical problems. For the Galactic Council, the aliens responded with typical brutality. Korath enforcement squads executed suspected collaborators and tightened security at all facilities. However, their methods were designed for intimidating primitive species, not detecting technologically enhanced humans that Dr. Stone's team made. Another crucial discovery while analyzing captured Valorian technology. The aliens' faster-than-light communication system used quantum entanglement principles that could be disrupted on a galactic scale. If they could build the right device, they could blind the entire alien fleet simultaneously. The project required massive resources and precise coordination. Hidden facilities across dozens of star systems began manufacturing components, each piece seemingly innocent, but collectively forming a devastating weapon. Tom Blake, now an enhanced human working in the Centauri mines, became a key coordinator for the project. His position gave him access to rare minerals needed for quantum disruption devices. Over months, he systematically diverted materials while maintaining the appearance of loyal servitude. The aliens' greatest mistake was underestimating human adaptability. While they viewed their enslaved populations as static resources, humans continued evolving. Each generation of enhanced humans became more capable, more dangerous, and more dedicated to the cause of freedom. As Part 2 concludes, the Resistance has transformed from desperate survivors into a technologically sophisticated network. They possess alien-level technology, enhanced human operatives, and detailed knowledge of enemy operations. However, they remain vastly outnumbered and outgunned. The Galactic Council controls thousands of ships and millions of troops. Humanity's window of opportunity is narrow, requiring perfect timing and flawless execution. The hidden fire of human determination now burns with alien fuel. The enslaved have become equals, and equals can fight back. The stage is set for humanity's first real strike against their oppressors. The Resistance called it Operation Prometheus, stealing fire from the gods. After 7 years of careful preparation, humanity was ready to announce their presence to the galaxy in the most dramatic way possible. The target was the Valorian trade hub at Kepler Station, a massive space complex that coordinated resource distribution across 12 star systems. The station housed over 50,000 aliens and processed the labor output of 30 enslaved species. Jake Rivers, now enhanced with alien biotechnology, commanded the strike force. His body had been modified with Nexaray neural interfaces and Korath physical augmentations, making him faster and stronger than any baseline human. More importantly, his mind could process tactical information at superhuman speeds. The assault began with Alex Turner's cyber infiltration. From a hidden facility on Mars, he penetrated Kepler Station's computer networks using quantum hacking techniques developed from captured alien technology. Within minutes, he had control over the station's defensive systems. The first sign of trouble came when the station's shields fluctuated unexpectedly. Valorian technicians assumed it was a routine maintenance glitch, not realizing that human hackers were systematically disabling their defenses. Jake's assault team approached and captured Korath patrol ships, their transponders broadcasting legitimate identification codes stolen from the alien database. The deception held until they reached the station's docking bays, where enhanced human soldiers emerged to begin the real attack. The Korath guards expected to face primitive humans armed with basic weapons. Instead, they encountered soldiers wearing power armor derived from their own technology and carrying energy weapons that could penetrate their scales. The psychological impact was devastating. The enslaved had become their equals. Lisa Chun led the technical team that seized the station's central computer core. Her mission was to download the complete database of Galactic Council operations, revealing the locations and defenses of every enslaved world. The information would be crucial for coordinating future strikes. The Valorians responded with typical arrogance, assuming their technological superiority would quickly end the human uprising. They deployed their elite guard units, soldiers enhanced, with life-extending technology that made them faster and stronger than baseline aliens. However, human tactics proved superior to alien technology. Where the Valorians relied on individual superiority, humans used coordinated team movements. Enhanced human soldiers worked together with a precision that the individualistic aliens couldn't match. Tom Blake's team seized the station's communication array, broadcasting a message across the galaxy. For the first time in 7 years, enslaved, humans throughout the Galactic Council's empire heard words of hope. People of Earth, children of humanity scattered among the stars. Jake's voice carried across quantum communication networks. This is your call to freedom. We are no longer slaves. We are no longer helpless. Today, we begin the fight for our species' survival. The message included detailed technical specifications for building quantum disruption devices from common materials found on any industrial world. Within hours, resistance cells across the galaxy began constructing weapons capable of disabling alien technology. The battle for Kepler Station lasted 6 hours. Human forces systematically captured each section, overwhelming alien defenders through superior tactics and equal technology. The Nexari administrators, unused to direct combat, surrendered quickly when faced with armed humans. The station's destruction was methodical and complete. Every piece of useful technology was stripped and analyzed before the complex was reduced to scrap metal. The message to the Galactic Council was clear. Humanity had evolved beyond their control. More importantly, the raid proved that alien technology could be defeated. Enhanced humans had fought toe-to-toe with the galaxy's best soldiers and won. The myth of alien invincibility was shattered forever. The Galactic Council's response was swift and brutal. Korath fleets moved to crush suspected resistance strongholds, while Valorian investigators began searching for the source of humanity's technological advancement. However, their methods were designed for dealing with primitive uprisings, not a technologically sophisticated enemy. Every move they made was anticipated by Alex Turner's monitoring network, allowing human forces to stay one step ahead of their pursuers. Dr. Stone's research teams used the captured Kepler Station data to identify critical weaknesses in alien infrastructure. The Galactic Council's empire was vast but inefficient, dependent on centralized control systems that could be disrupted. As Part 3 concludes, humanity has achieved technological parity with their oppressors. The successful raid on Kepler Station proved that humans could fight and win against alien forces. More importantly, it demonstrated that the enslaved species throughout the galaxy could be freed. However, the real war was just beginning. The Galactic Council commanded resources from hundreds of worlds and possessed weapons capable of destroying entire planets. Humanity's next challenge would be much greater than a single space station. The first strike had succeeded, but it was only the opening move in a conflict that would determine the fate of every enslaved species in the galaxy. The Galactic Council's retaliation was swift and merciless. Within days of the Kepler Station raid, Korath fleets began systematic bombardment of suspected human resistance strongholds. Entire mining colonies were reduced to radioactive ash as alien commanders demonstrated the price of rebellion. But their brutality backfired spectacularly. Instead of intimidating the enslaved populations, the massacres triggered uprisings across dozens of star systems. Species that had accepted servitude for generations suddenly saw hope in human defiance. The Draknari, reptilian miners from the Vega system, were the first to join humanity's cause. Their thick scales made them natural soldiers, and they possessed intimate knowledge of alien mining operations. When enhanced humans shared quantum disruption technology with Draknari rebels, they quickly liberated 3 asteroid facilities. Admiral Thane, the Valorian who had originally conquered Earth, found himself facing a nightmare scenario. His carefully maintained empire was fragmenting as enslaved species throughout the galaxy began coordinating their resistance efforts. Jake Rivers established a mobile command center aboard the captured alien dreadnought Retribution, a Korath warship seized during the Kepler raid. From this vessel, he coordinated simultaneous strikes against alien installations across multiple star systems. The key to humanity's strategy was the quantum communication network Alex Turner had developed. Unlike the aliens' centralized command structure, human resistance operated through decentralized cells that could adapt instantly to changing conditions. Dr. Stone's research teams had made another breakthrough. They discovered how to replicate alien enhancement technology using human biology. The process was dangerous, with a 30% mortality rate, but volunteers lined up at every facility. The enhanced humans who survived the process possessed capabilities that exceeded their former oppressors. Human creativity combined with alien technology produced innovations that the rigid alien mindset couldn't anticipate. Tom Blake led the assault on Nexaray Research Complex Omega-9, where the insectoids developed new control technologies for enslaved populations. His team of enhanced soldiers moved through the facility like ghosts, disabling security systems and capturing vital intelligence. The intelligence revealed the Galactic Council's greatest secret. They were losing the technological war. Human innovations were advancing faster than alien scientists could counter them. The enslaved had become the masters of their former oppressors' tools. Lisa Chun coordinated the liberation of Processing Center Alpha, where human children were being prepared for a new generation of slavery. The rescue operation saved over 10,000 young humans, but more importantly, it demonstrated that no alien facility was beyond reach. The war's turning point came when human forces captured a Valorian life extension facility. The aliens' greatest weakness was revealed. They were completely dependent on treatments derived from enslaved species to maintain their extended lifespans. Without these treatments, Valorians aged rapidly and died within months. The revelation explained their desperate need to maintain the Galactic Empire. They were literally parasites feeding off their enslaved populations. Asterisk. Colonel Ross led a series of strikes against these facilities, systematically destroying the Valorians' ability to extend their lives. Within weeks, the blue-skinned aliens began showing signs of accelerated aging as their treatment supplies dwindled. The Nexaray proved to be the weak link in the alien alliance. Their hive-mind mentality made them excellent administrators, but terrible warriors. When human forces targeted their central coordination nodes, entire sectors of the alien empire lost communication and command structure. The Koraths, despite their physical prowess, lacked the intelligence to adapt to human tactics. Their straightforward approach to warfare was easily countered by enhanced human soldiers who could think faster and fight smarter. However, humanity's greatest victory was ideological. The successful resistance inspired enslaved species throughout the galaxy to believe that freedom was possible. Rebellions erupted on hundreds of worlds as aliens found themselves fighting multiple enemies simultaneously. The Zephyrians, energy-based beings enslaved to power alien technology, began sabotaging the systems they were forced to maintain. The crystalline architects stopped constructing alien facilities and instead built fortifications for resistance forces. each species brought unique capabilities to the growing rebellion. The aquatic thalassins provided underwater bases, while the gaseous nebulans offered surveillance capabilities that alien sensors couldn't detect out, as Part 4 concludes. The Galactic Council's empire is collapsing under the weight of universal rebellion. What began as humanity's struggle for freedom has become a galactic war of liberation. The aliens still possess superior numbers and heavy weapons, but they're fighting on hundreds of fronts simultaneously. Their centralized command structure, once a source of strength, has become a critical weakness. Humanity has evolved from enslaved victims to liberation leaders. Enhanced humans coordinate resistance efforts across the galaxy, sharing technology and tactics that level the playing field against former oppressors. The stage is set for the final confrontation, a battle that will determine whether the galaxy's enslaved species achieve freedom or face total annihilation. Asterisk. The final battle began at the heart of the Galactic Council's power. The throne worlds, 3 heavily fortified planets that served as the home systems for each ruling species. Humanity's enhanced forces faced their greatest challenge in a coordinated assault that would either free the galaxy or result in the complete extinction of all enslaved races. Jake Rivers commanded the human fleet from the Bridge of Liberation, a massive vessel constructed from salvaged alien technology and human innovation. Around him, enhanced officers processed information at superhuman speeds, coordinating attacks across 3 star systems simultaneously. The Valorian homeworld of Azuria was a gleaming jewel of blue, crystal cities powered by the life force of 1 billion enslaved beings. Dr. Stone led the assault team that would target the planet's life extension facilities, cutting off the Valorians' artificial immortality. Alex Turner's consciousness had evolved beyond physical form, existing as pure information within quantum networks. He orchestrated the cyber warfare that preceded the physical assault, turning the aliens' own technology against them in ways they never thought possible. The Nexari hive world of Collective presented a different challenge. Its massive biomechanical cities functioned as single organisms, requiring precision strikes to avoid triggering defensive reflexes that could kill millions. Tom Blake's engineering teams had developed quantum bombs capable of disrupting the planet's neural networks without causing physical destruction. Lisa Chun commanded the assault on Brutaris, the Korath homeworld. The reptilian planet was a fortress world designed for warfare, its surface covered with military installations and defensive emplacements. However, human tactics and superior technology had made such defenses obsolete. The coordinated assault began with Alex's cyber attack. Simultaneously across all 3 worlds, alien communication networks went dark. Defensive systems malfunctioned, and transportation grids collapsed. The Galactic Council found themselves blind and helpless as human forces materialized throughout their core territories. On Azuria, enhanced human soldiers moved like phantoms through crystal cities, systematically destroying every life extension facility. Valorian guards, weakened by interrupted treatments, could barely resist as their immortality apparatus was reduced to rubble. Admiral Thane made his final stand in the planetary capital, commanding the last functional defense force from his crystalline tower. When Jake Rivers confronted him in personal combat, the encounter symbolized humanity's complete reversal of fortune. "You were insects to be crushed," Thane gasped, his blue skin already showing signs of rapid aging. "How? Did you become gods?" "We never stopped being human," Jake replied, ending the alien admiral's extended life with a weapon forged from Valorian technology. The Nexari collapse was even more dramatic. When Tom Blake's quantum bombs disrupted the hive-mind connections that held their civilization together, entire cities went dormant as their biological infrastructure shut down. The insectoid species, unable to function without collective consciousness, simply stopped existing as a coherent force. Brutaris fell through sheer military superiority. Enhanced human soldiers, supported by liberated alien species, overwhelmed Koroth defenses through coordinated assaults that the reptilian warriors couldn't counter. Colonel Ross personally led the final charge that captured the planetary command center. However, the aliens had one final weapon, a quantum cascade device, capable of destroying every star system within 1,000 light years. Rather than accept defeat, the remaining Galactic Council members chose universal annihilation. Dr. Stone's team had anticipated this possibility. They had developed countermeasures based on their understanding of alien quantum technology, but implementing them required a sacrifice that no one wanted to make. Alex Turner, his consciousness spread across galactic networks, was the only entity capable of countering the cascade device. Doing so would require him to merge completely with the quantum field, ending his existence as an individual being. Remember us. Alex's voice echoed across human communication networks as he initiated the countermeasures. Remember that we chose freedom over survival and hope over fear. The quantum cascade began, reality warping as stars began to collapse throughout the galaxy. But Alex's sacrifice held the destruction at bay, containing the devastation to the 3 throne worlds while preserving billions of lives throughout the galaxy. In the aftermath, silence fell across the star systems. The Galactic Council was gone, their empire reduced to radioactive debris orbiting dead stars. The enslaved species throughout the galaxy found themselves suddenly, impossibly free. Humanity had achieved their revenge, but the cost was staggering. The war had claimed billions of lives and left entire star systems uninhabitable. Yet from the ashes of the old empire, something new began to emerge. The liberated species formed a new galactic alliance based on cooperation rather than domination. Humans, having led the rebellion, took responsibility for helping rebuild the shattered civilizations. Earth itself had become a symbol of hope throughout the galaxy. The blue world that had once been enslaved now served as the capital of the Free Galactic Federation, proving that even the most oppressed could rise to greatness. The galaxy had learned humanity's greatest lesson, that freedom was worth any price, and that the human spirit, once awakened, could not be conquered. Asterisk.